What should you want in life? I remember the first time I went to like a fully immersive event. What ended up happening is they played this game, which was the what do you want game. And they just kept asking, what do you want, what do you want, what do you want? And I found that most people wanted the same things, but maybe not because they wanted them, but because they were socialized to want these things. My question for you today is, what is it that you're gonna really want in the end that will give you the fulfilling life that you're hoping for?
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Now tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I don't know the
I
song.
want it. I really, really want it. Zig, zig.
Guys, we're talking today about what you should want. We're here to tell you what you should want if you don't know what you want.
The Spice Girls will tell you what you
So
want.
here's the story from A to Z.
I don't think they really tell you what you want. I think they just ask the question over
they
and
never
over.
get to
Yeah,
the point.
you know.
So listen, if you listen to society, they've got it figured out for you. In fact, when I say society, I mean your upbringing of family and friends. In fact, we all know what we are all bred to believe, and I'm talking about Western thinking. And when we talk about Western thinking, I got this quote up here: you need to know what you really want or you'll get what you don't want. Because either way, the results in your life are a byproduct of your desires. Even the sick and twisted ones, like how many of us have ever been in a place in our life where we were afraid of bills, getting bills, right? That's a want. When you're afraid of something and you're pouring energy into, I don't want a bill, I don't want a bill. All I'm thinking about is bill, bill, bill. And what am I gonna get? What am I gonna see?
Bill.
I'm gonna be focusing, I'm gonna get what I focus on. So I wanna talk about this today because a lot of you reach out, you ask me, and I thought, you know what, let's just get my opinion on it. I wanna get Marianne's, I wanna get Carson's, and have this dialogue today on what should you want? Well, society tells us that we should want what?
College education.
Go to college.
A good job. Maybe a car, a yacht, or the accumulation of things.
My generation, I guess I'm technically part of the millennials, they want the things their parents had, but they want them
now.
easier.
Right. They want to be gifted them and then ride on the coattails.
The house
of
that
the
my
parents.
parents worked forever to get into, like I wanted. Out
That's
the
why
gate.
millennials live in the basement of their parents. So really, they're getting what they want, right?
This is true. So, should is a really strong, powerful word.
Should,
and I
you
try
said should, right?
I try not to should on people.
Right, that's gross.
But I am today. And I want to get real with what it is that we actually want. Because I want a nice house. I want a nice car. A lot of people are watching this channel because they want it to build a nice lifestyle. And I kid you not, subscribe and follow, and you're going to learn what you need to about providing an amazing lifestyle. But don't be surprised if when you get or move towards the lifestyle, if it doesn't necessarily give you what you're looking for.
It doesn't feel like you thought it would.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's amazing. Like, have you ever bought a car that you liked? Like, maybe it wasn't your dream car, but you went to a car lot,
Sure.
you got the car, and at first, how does the new car feel?
It smells great. It feels good. It's not breaking down. That's super nice. You can drive it off the lot. You feel like $1 million.
You feel really good at first, right? And it's fun, and you enjoy it. But something happens over the first couple of months. Somewhere within the first 2-3 months, it just becomes
A car.
a car.
I think an easier example that most people could relate to is phones.
Their
So we buy
phones,
the newest,
right?
I see
Apple
that you're showing
announces-
us all three of the
Yes.
backside
I
of that.
have
This
not
is an iPhone
3.
11 Pro.
I have my 10.
They release it in September, and everyone's so excited, and you get it. And then how many people by November have cracked screens? And it's just this
They're not
thing that we
babying
chuck
it. They're not
around.
taking care of it. So it's interesting that we as human beings, especially in Western society, there's this internal ego with a mantra that says more, and it's hungry. And it'll allow you to be satiated for a moment when you finally get your leveled up. Like I moved out of my apartment, I moved into a house, and I feel like the boss for a little bit. But then I take it for granted, and I become habituated to it, and then it's normal, and then I want more. And the problem with more is that enough more will never be enough. You can never get enough of what you don't need because what you don't need can't satisfy you. And some people figure that out too late in life. And I think some millennials are actually catching on to this and they're like, you know what, you're right. I want freedom and mobility. I don't need a big income. I want the ability to make choices that I want. So I don't want to work in a cubicle, or I don't want to have to commute, or I would like to be able to work from home, right? And so we start craving and trying to find ways of how do I advance lifestyle. And I'm not saying that that's bad. Actually, I'm all for it. I think I was a millennial at heart, or even maybe Gen Z, freaking 26 saying, I want to be retired. Right? I just went first, and I'm like, I don't want to, and it wasn't that I was entitled to that. It's not like that I don't want to pay
you had
the
to work
price.
for that.
I worked my butt off, but I want to do it in a smarter, more intelligent way. So in this effort of what should you want, I want to share with you a couple of ideas that have really helped me that I think will help you today. Here's the first one. What passive income will free your time? What passive income will free your time? And the reason why I'm asking this is because time freedom is more important than financial freedom.
No, I gotta say, because I talk to people every day who watch you on YouTube and they're calling in and we go over this and I say, what's your biggest thing? And they're like, I want financial freedom. I'm like, really? Because it sounds like you want your time back. And
Yep.
financial freedom means being able to have your time and go to your kids' games and not miss anything. And that's what people are really wanting.
I truly believe that time is way more valuable than money because we're all
100%.
allotted the same amount and we can't get any more of it.
Yeah, and you know what? After all of my years being in multiple industry and having done all these different investments and owned gold refineries to trucking companies, I mean, friends, I've been there all over the board, and I keep coming back to two things that I invest in that answer this question. One of those is real estate, and the second one is business. These two things right here have the ability to restore time. There are things that you can do right now to start getting your time back. Dude, I remember when I had this job and I found out if I worked 28 hours, I could still keep my pay, and then I use my free time for investing in real estate. And
Hacking the system.
Did your employer know?
they would chastise me from time to time. I'm like, and they would sit down and they would like Jeff would be like, now Kris, I see that you've only logged 28.2 hours, and I think you know that to keep benefits and everything to keep us happy, you need to log a minimum of 28 hours. But do you feel good about that?
He's like, yes, I do,
You're
because I'm
working
making you
the
money, I'm making me
system.
money,
And
and
I
I
would,
got...
no.
love it.
And I asked Jess, I turned on Jeff and I said, well, Jeff, I want to ask you, am I meeting or exceeding my goals? You're exceeding them. Am I producing the result that you guys want? Yes. Am I getting all of my work done that I'm contracted for? Well, yes. I said, do we really have a problem? He's like, well, I just feel like you should have more time here like the rest of us are putting. Is like,
Just because you're broken doesn't mean I am.
no. So I mean,
Inside thoughts.
yeah, so listen, I'm not trying to tell you to cheat your boss. I
No,
mean,
don't
this
do
guy
that.
runs my company. He's like, Kris, let's
No,
edit
but
that out.
But I have learned the value of delegation. I get credit for things all the time. You're like, dude, that was such a good job, dude. We got so much done this week. I don't do it alone. It's leveraging other
Brilliant
people
team.
because time is limited.
Yeah.
It's delegation, and that's what business affords you.
So of the three things I want to share, this is the first one. What passive income will free your time? For me, it's going to be real estate or business. Here's the second question that I think you got to ask yourself, which is, what passive income will give you what you want? What passive income will give you what you want? And you know what? For me, I think this is going to be a little strange, but this time I'm going to write down real estate, and this time I'm going to write down business.
So strange. I don't know. Do you know
I know where
anything
you're
about real
going
estate?
with
And here's what I mean.
I know.
Some ideas are small and they can't produce enough. Real estate and business done the right way is big enough to give you everything that you want. So these are really important questions to do some soul searching on, finding your answers. But this is the last thing that I had to bring up today because I recently saw a couple of posts that disturbed me to the max. And it's this question: use your passion to make money. And it's this idea like, dude, can you imagine a better world where you're making your money doing all the time also exactly what you 100% of the time love? Like, think of people that get to do what they love. The problem is that 87% of us do not like what we do. It's a super sad statistic that's out there. And I'm actually going to come in here with red ink and say, watch out for this passion crap. Passion.
Wait, hold up. Tell me what's going on here. Watch out for this passion crap. Like,
Okay.
I read your first book.
one of the fastest ways to ruin your passion is to force it to be the way that you make money. And sometimes that works really well, but guess what? Sometimes it can't, and if you don't get it, you'll kill your passion. And there's a lot of people that are just doing things that don't make, I'm like, listen, do something that is financially smarter for making money, and then go have your free time and go do your passion.
Well,
don't force it to have to make money if it's not that kind of passion. Like, I'll just give you one case in point. A buddy of mine growing up, Rodney, loves to sing. Like, loves. And I did this passion challenge, and I'm like, okay, I want you to create as much money as you can in 30 days with your passion.
You did this with him?
I did, and I sat down with all my employees in this challenge, and we sat down with them. Like, some of them, like, one's like, well, I love playing guitar, and he made like an extra $500 that month playing guitar. He loved it. He got the money. He did what he loved. Rodney sat down and he said, Rodney, I love to sing. And I'm like, and I grew up with Rodney in my hometown, and he got me into choir. Rodney's a great singer.
That's good news.
Rodney is not a soloist. He's a choir voice. And Rodney was like, I'm going to go and record, and it felt like American Idol all of a sudden. I'm going to go and like get paid to like sing and solo. And I was just sitting there like, well, I am the opinion of one, and I could most certainly be wrong, but I don't think that would be a good use of the time. Like, I don't think this is going to work out for you,
Don't quit
dude.
your day job,
You're
kind of a
not that-
conversation.
And sometimes your passions don't equate to make money. Sometimes they do. It's great if they do.
I actually want to jump in here, and I think we should qualify this word passion, because I think a lot of people say they're passionate about something and they're not. They're like, oh man, I love playing the piano. And it's like, oh really, how often do you play?
Once a week?
Monthly.
Monthly.
And it's like, you're not really passionate about it. But
Oh,
then
I'm
you have
passionate about traveling.
Right.
How often
and then
do you
how do you
travel?
travel? Well, I can't afford it. And it's like, if you were really passionate about travel, you'd find a way.
You'd find
Yeah.
a way.
Right. And
Yep.
I think about, the goats, the greatest of all time. And I don't think you could stop them from doing their passion. You try and get Michael Phelps to
Out of the
stop
pool?
swimming.
His hair is never not wet, I'm
Right,
sure.
You
Like,
try and get him out of the pool. And that's why it equates to being so successful, is because it's truly a passion. I think what you're really saying, Kris, is don't make your pipe dream your goal for success.
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's well
That might
said.
be how I would interpret that, at least.
Yeah. So guys, we're talking about what you should want. Today's conversation is just giving you an opportunity to start exploring. It's amazing. So many of us get into a drone sequence of just being in a routine and not realizing, wait a second, I'm not very happy in this routine. I'm doing it out of obligation. It helps me pay my bills, but I'm not exactly loving my life. Listen, I want you to pursue your passion, but what I would say is do financially what makes the most sense to afford your passion. Do what makes the most sense to actually produce like the life that you want and to get what you really want out of life. I mean, I've done that with real estate. Real estate happened to be my passion, but only in the beginning. Like I learned everything I could about it, and then we mastered it and did thousands of homes. And I've helped thousands of people use real estate as a vehicle for creating wealth. Like, how much money did you make on your last house, were you saying?
Oh, I've got, I think, over 100 grand in
100?
profit.
Yeah, like
on
over
that thing, like in
$100,000.
profit.
You
Yeah.
just bought another house.
Yeah. So we're doing the basement apartment thing. We just moved to our second house.
But is
Yeah,
real
we're-
estate your
3
passion?
doors. No.
Well, see,
Real
that's the
estate
thing.
passion?
No, not at all. But
I'm
it,
involved in real estate because I am in this club.
yeah, me
Yes.
too,
And I'm
right?
surrounded
I know
by
you.
people who are passionate about it.
Yes.
Tyler Bennett was my realtor.
Yes.
Todd helped. They all found our house. We
Yep.
did our banking, got our loan with the same people that
Right.
are partners. Right. I'm surrounded with people that do it. But if I had to do it alone, like it's not.
I would have
it's not
never
my
done it
passion.
if I had to do it. The reason I do real estate is because my passion is something else.
Right.
Because real estate fuels the passion.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the whole idea. Is because it was yours, now it can be still yours, and I can do something else.
So you've got to ask yourself, what do you want? What do you really want? And how do you start making choices today that angle you in that direction? And here's hopefully one of the things that you get from today's video. If you know what you want, you got to start making financial choices that will enable the opportunity to get the thing that you want. And there's smart ways and there's dumb ways. Subscribe to my channel. We talk all day long about all the dumb ways people do things with money that will never get them what they want. We got other people that are out there, they're consuming documents like this that I make available for free, or like my book that they can get for free, or they subscribe, or they get me on podcast. And the information here will divulge all of my systems, proprietary formulas for how I create wealth, as well as my results on doing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of real estate. And I make that available to as many people as possible because I was one of those that, even though I got mentors, I basically had passion drive me into actually taking action, and I had resources that I could go to help me. I get to be that for a number of people today. We get to be that for a number of people today to inspire them on what they can do to fund the life of their dreams. For those of you that are saying, okay, Kris, so I get it. So your passion now takes you around the world, traveling, doing some amazing things with your life, starting awesome companies, building incredible tribes, surrounding yourself with incredible people like we have here. You can learn more about how I did that here through this book. This book is a free gift to everyone who wants it. You click it in the link below, you cover the shipping, I send it out to you. I have people literally that read this book, take action on it, and then they start producing wealth. And that might be you, that might be your next step. So I want it to be available to you, but I also want to share with you what I did to become financially free by the age of 26. And if you click the video over here and check it out, it'll actually walk you through exactly what I did, step by step, the 5 things that actually built that wealth for me. And here's what I'm saying. How you build wealth may be your passion, it may not be, but either way, find a fast track so you can get out of the slow lane and get in the fast lane of living the life of your dreams so you can actually get what you really want.